schedule and slow down. But when you simplify your schedule, make sure you take out the right things. Some parents hear that and say, yeah, you're doing way too much. And they go, yeah, absolutely right. We need to stay home from church so we can have a relaxed time with the family. Can't do that any other day of the week, so we're going to stay home with the... What are you thinking? What are you thinking? You mean, we're going to tennis lessons. We ain't going to miss those because we paid money for those things. We're going to piano lessons. We're going to dance. But we can miss worship. That's all right. What is wrong with you? Do you really think that's the way it ought to be? You really would rather have your children be a tennis player or a piano player or a dancer who didn't fear God? Now I know you're going to say, oh, come on, that's not fair. No, it isn't fair, but you got to think about it. What's more important is my point. What is more important? If I have to make the choice, and sometimes I do, between doing tennis or whatever the activity is, or going to church, there's no question about what we're going to do. There's no question. That is not a decision that's tough. That's one that's been made already. We are going to worship. That's it. And if we don't do that, then really you've got your priorities upside down and you're teaching your children a very bad lesson that they will not forget, which is you go to church unless you have something more fun to do. You want to teach that lesson. You better not, because God will hold you accountable for that. That will be a lesson they won't learn. We've got a whole bunch of kids now that they think 1,000 things are more fun than going to church, so they don't go. They don't go to church if they've got something else to do. And they expect you to think that that's okay. They love the Lord. Come on, don't challenge me because I don't go to church. If you're going to do this, do it right. Non-essentials, cut off. Essentials, you keep. And you make all the arrangements you have to make to do what's essential. See, we go to all kinds of trouble because we want to go out on Friday night. And we go to some expense. And that's all fine, nothing wrong with it. But you go to trouble for that. You got to plan for it. But you won't plan for Sunday. That's not right. You've got your priorities wrong. Think clearly about this. Remember what's most important. The most important thing is not that my child knows the rules of tennis and can actually use a tennis racket and not embarrass himself, but that he fears God. If he fears God, I don't care if he can hit a tennis ball. If he fears God, I don't care if he strikes out all the time. If he fears God, he's going to be fine. But he may not be fine if he can hit a baseball, and that's all he can do. He may not be fine. We've got to think clearly. Don't make the mistake of putting unimportant things in a place of priority. You're teaching the wrong lesson.